Apparently, the Ronaldo guy hits the rank 1. I've never seen a less appreciated rank 1 achievement post. You can have a total no-name post rank 1. It like blows up. Say what you will, in US we have a lot of people who keep a good eye on the ladder. And if you get like rank 1, you will get some appreciation. Even if you're a complete no-name, a lot of people will appreciate it. For a streamer to hit rank 1, and to get basically 0 appreciation is kind of ridiculous. It's like a public secret. Everybody knows that he's a ghoster, so everyone is just yapping about it. And he's pretty much ostracized from the like well-meaning society in League of Legends, which is pretty interesting to see. I made a tweet about this. We're gonna read it in a second. There's like a different opinion here. This proves that stream sniping and target banning actually is the best strategy to climb. I think it's hyperbole, obviously. Actually disgusting. These guys have been permaed from the game. If you wonder why all high-elo streamers hide their champions, like it's purely because of this guy. He's been doing this for way too long. I've talked about this before. I'm just gonna quickly reiterate. It's a parasitic behavior. It creates this environment where it's a race to the bottom. If you have a person who continuously blatantly ghosts people, also just to explain people quickly what's ghosting, because people very often don't know, it's basically looking up streams of people who are in high-elo, both in queue but also in game against you. So you can see their hovers, summoner spells, you can target ban enemies. So what he does is basically like he tells one of his teammates to target ban somebody else, he bans one, so that's -2 enemies that are hovering, and then they like see the summoners and who's what role so they can prepare accordingly. And then obviously because he's watching your stream, like he knows where you are in the game, at which point, where the vision is and everything. He gains this very, very big advantage on the people's goodwill to broadcast their stream. Now I need to make this argument because you have a lot of people who they dislike streamers very much. So it's like, oh, what do you care? Just put 5 minutes delay, just hide your client, hide everything. All you need to do with these sort of situations is like, you need to balloon it and imagine if everybody did it. That's like a test of an ideology. What happens if more people adopt it? Let's say this guy does it, then somebody else, because he's doing it, it follows suit. It's like, oh, nobody, he's not getting punished, I'm gonna follow it as well. Then somebody else follows, and eventually it's a race to the bottom, to the point where nobody broadcasts anything, and everything is hidden, and the entire streaming scene is worse for it. So it's a very parasitic ideology in nature, because it piggybacks off of the goodwill of people who are actually trying to share their broadcast. This is a horrific thing to do if you're a high-elo player, because you're ruining high-elo. This is a very horrific thing to do if you're a pro player, because you're parasitizing off of the entire ecosystem that you benefit from. And obviously as a streamer doing this is hyper egregious, because it's very easy to project in the long term what the unintended consequences could be. And now you're in a situation where everybody does it. So it's absolutely horrendous to be doing this. And he was at one point all three, like a pro player, high-elo player, and a streamer. And he continuously, he breaks the Zeus's law. He's like people from the sea. And once you break it, it's gonna go back. It's a bad sign that this is happening, because a lot of people might take this as a thing to emulate. I'm taking a position that's kind of like the polar opposite of the 6 guy, because he's saying that this incentivizes more people to do it. But I found a bit of a silver lining on the situation here, and this is it basically. This has to be the least appreciated rank 1 post on the app, at least that I've seen for sure. It's good to see that when Riot fails, and Drew Levin immediately DM'd me after I posted this, so they're looking into this, and he told me to keep an eye out, because they're looking for solutions for ghosting. He's doing some data analysis, crunching the numbers, and I think he has some very interesting findings. Latent proven ghosting naturally tarnishes your reputation, sours any and all achievements you may or may not have. This is a good mechanism that rewards people of character and keeps individual honest for the most part. This is why we still haven't delved into anarchy where everybody does it. This is why we're not there yet. Because of you, because of the Twitch chat, because of the YouTube chat, because of the people watching this, commenting this, and people are keeping these ideals. As much as it seems that it's not punished, it is. There is such thing as reputation. There is such thing as being a person of character. There is such a thing as being a trustworthy character. These things, like in modern day and age, become more and more ethereal by the second, and like the only thing that we value is basically money and power. But the social contract still exists. this. Incentive structure that rewards honesty is crucial for a production evolutionary stable system, right? The ESS here is somewhat functional still. We are still able to somewhat keep people honest in this, and it's a wonderful lesson here. It's a good takeaway that within the league sphere, we're still kind of keeping tight. We're tightly knit, and there is some sort of social contract there. And that's precisely what this post indicates to me, like, given the interactions on it. It's just insane that, like, everybody knows that he's a ghoster, and it's just the nature of ghosting is that extraordinarily difficult to prove beyond all reasonable doubt. This guy, there's more than enough material for this guy to be proven beyond reasonable doubt. It's just that, like, there is no heuristic to, like, there's nothing you can follow that you can do this automatically. It requires manual intensive labor, and that's what Drew Levin DM'd me, and he asked me, like, what would be the data searching techniques, basically, how one would search for a ghoster. So we were going back and forth on this. So he proposed some solutions about how to hunt down ghosters, essentially, and it's like, what if you look at the past 100 games and, like, who banned the most enemy main champions, for example? Like, what would pop up in the data, right? So I suggested one other option is, like, how many hovers would you target on the enemy side, right? How many times? What is the coefficient? What is the percent of you hitting the enemy hovered champion in the past, like, 100 games or 200 games? Now, all of these would need some sort of control, because hover could be more likely if somebody mains a character that's like, look, that's just a new champ, it will almost always be banned, right? So there's these things to factor in and calculate for, but it's a very, very difficult thing to figure out, and we are figuring it out. We are slowly figuring out how to get there, and Drew Levin is hands-on. He's in the data right now, and he said he's gonna have some very interesting findings to show. So I should keep an eye out for, like, a post that's gonna come soon. Can we show some OG posts? The OG post, nobody cares you're a ghoster. Aren't you the piece of shit that stream snipes? Your achievements will never amount to anything. Solo's pathetic rank 1. Oh my god. People are going, like, really hard on this. But, like, a lot of people care fervently about sanctity of the ranked integrity. People care about that, right? Everyone getting mad about the arguments but expect your high challenger and you could play more than one champ. Yeah, this is, by the way, this is the exact same type of people say for dodging. Back when dodging was a thing. Remember when dodging was a thing before? People would go and, like, I want to have the ability to leave a lobby and not play with a troll, right? And you can say that. It's like, as much as you can say, like, you probably shouldn't be a challenger player only playing one champ. I agree. Like, I agree. The thing is, these people are incapable looking beyond their own nose and extending behavior to multiple people, running theoreticals, and extending what happens if this is massively adopted. Mass adoption, what does it lead to? Okay, everyone adopts the dodging ideology, which is also a parasitical ideology. If everyone adopts it, you get into this unplayable state of game because no game is perfectly balanced. Too many variables to have a perfectly 50-50 game. So somebody's going to be dodging and you never get the game. And now on the other hand is like, what happens if everybody goes? What happens if everybody does it? The third leg of League of Legends crumbles, and that is the streaming scene. League of Legends has been living on that, by the way. Streaming scene is what's keeping League of Legends alive. A lot of people don't watch streamers, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. And they might be missing the point by saying, like, yeah, fuck the streamers. Just cover yourself up, buddy. Wear, like, a longer skirt. It doesn't matter that he's, like, cheating the entire system and just having unfair advantage and, like, being unsportsmanlike. Fuck that, right? But I don't see that if, like, everyone emerges with that behavior, it's just completely unplayable. The game becomes horrible, the streaming crumbles, and it's cooked. But yeah, I'm actually curious. I'm very, very curious what Drew Levin's gonna come out with. I got personally messaged by Drew Levin sending me this post. Anyway, as I told you yesterday, I had a chat with Drew Levin on figuring out different methods, heuristic on how to find who the ghoster is, right? So we were spitballing a lot of different ideas and metrics that you could examine that will showcase like a number above average, and you could kind of figure out who the ghoster is. Not anymore. This is the first time I'm seeing a community note on a post. Ronaldo rank 1, not anymore. And then tags to Drew Levin. Everybody knew that he's ghosting, literally everybody in high elo. It's just that it's extremely difficult to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And I said it's doable. It should be doable, because if a human can know 100% that this person is ghosting, why can't we develop a method that could be automatic that shouldn't require a human? And it just required a little bit of thinking on everyone's part, right? So Drew Levin, blessed as he is, even like apologizes and says like, I'm sorry I'm late on this, but it takes the time specifically to figure this out, like look under, pop up in the hood, see what's cooking underneath, and he figures it out. After conducting an investigation into the matter, we conclude they repeatedly violate our policy against stream sniping in your rank 1 climb. Our policy can be found here. As a result, we're doing the following. Your account is banned for 2 weeks. You will not receive rank rewards for the season. And they're putting his LP minus 4,000 something. So he goes to 0 LP master. While many of your results are legitimate, and this is true, this is something I've stressed this out, which is what makes things like extra annoying. This guy is not a bad player. I can disagree with him personally. I don't like his character. I don't like what he's doing. And he's like being a parasitic entity upon this like community and ruining the community for everybody else. But he's not a bad player. Okay? He's just deeply dishonest. He abuses stream sniping to advantage, taints your climb, and will not allow it to stand. We encourage you to play honorably in the future. And then they slam him. And this is a very, very big win. The most important thing is not this one ban, but the precedent it's set. It's possible to detect and punish ghosting now. Drew Levin told me he's got some very interesting statistical findings, and I will not talk about the methods because he didn't go over them on purpose here. And my belief is, despite him being able to prove with like 99.999% efficacy that he is ghosting, he doesn't want to lay out all of the methods that he used to find them, precisely because he wants to avoid people trying to min-max those said numbers and doing the ghosting light as a result. This guy calls him out for not watching my video from like a year ago. He's like, sorry for not having watched every YouTube video. Like, he's not even being sarcastic. He literally said sorry to me in DMs, which is kind of crazy. Like, nobody expects everybody to see all of this. How do you make difference between someone who's banning a specific champ after it gets a new lobby and someone who actually stream snipes? See, he's keeping it kind of vague. If you ban a zillion unique champs, and also your hit rate is crazy, then it's pretty clear what's up. So it was a clear-cut case of him basically like darting different bans. You can think of this akin to something like finding card counting. Card counting is ridiculously simple to find once you know what you're looking for when you develop a heuristic for it. If you're betting 10 bucks every time, then all of a sudden you up your bet to 1,000. Yeah, like you know the deck is like kind of stacked. So if you do a couple of those like bet shuffles like that, you're found instantly. And the same thing is here. If you're like constantly shuffling the bans all across the hit and you're hitting people who are both mains and hovering those champions, like you're getting, like, it's very clear-cut case. So the coefficient that they derive from that is like, it must have been like way above, head and shoulders above everybody else within the category in Challenger. So he just like got marked. So yeah, that's beautiful news for the future of the community, ranked integrity, and League of Legends overall. Because I talked about it like the 3 pillars of League. Streaming is one of the pillars. Like, streaming is one of the core pillars. High, low integrity is one pillar. Streaming is another pillar. You're essentially saving both. More so of the streaming side, I'm going to be honest. But you're saving both of these pillars, and they're going to stand firm for the future. If you enjoyed that video, watch this next. Also, majority of our content comes from our direct live streams, which happen almost daily. So consider joining those and being part of the community live. Appreciate all of your support.